Hey, welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to do a head-on comparison of two excellent budget Strat style guitars. The Squier Affinity Stratocaster and the Squier Classic Vibe Stratocaster. Both of these guitars are excellent. They're both different and they appeal probably to different types of players. So let's go over the two guitars first, and then we'll get into it a little bit more. And both, by the way, are excellent choices, either one. So first off, the Classic Vibe here is the top of the line currently in terms of Squier guitars. This is the top model. It is the MSRP, suggested retail price for this is $419.99, and this guy was its close cousin, which is the Affinity, is a model below it. The current MSRP on this guitar is $259.99, so it's almost $200 less than the Classic Vibe. And we'll talk about what the primary differences are between these two guitars. So first off, let's talk about the woods of the guitars, the body. The Affinity is made of poplar wood. I'm not going to get into the goofy jokes around that one, but that is the body, the wood material in the body of the Affinity. Classic Vibe is Nyoto, and I'm not familiar with that wood. Nyatoh. From what I've read, it's similar to mahogany in terms of density, but again, primary difference is Nyoto and poplar. Now, in terms of weight, they are very similar in weight, I would say. I haven't weighed the Classic Vibe yet, but I believe this guy is just a little north of 8 pounds. And I assume that this guy is pretty close. There's no noticeable difference in one being much heavier than the other. They're pretty much standard Strat weights. The frets on both guitars are 21 frets. However, on the Affinity, the frets are medium jumbo. On the Classic Vibe, they are narrow, tall frets. The nut on the Affinity is a plastic nut, basic plastic nut. Classic Vibe has a bone nut, so you're getting an upgrade right there on the nut material on the Classic Vibe. The neck on the Classic Vibe is, as you can probably see, glossed on both the fretboard and the back of the neck. So those of you that do not like that gloss, some complain it's sticky, they don't like the feel, might not like that feel on the Classic Vibe. The Affinity is a matte finish. It's almost like no finish on the back of the neck. It's like bare wood on the neck and the fretboard. So that is the main difference there. The pickups are where it also differs quite a bit. So the pickups on the Classic Vibe are Fender designed Alnico pickups. They're more vintage style. Lower output, definitely not as thick or not as heavy when you put on distortion and it's noticeable as the pickups, the ceramic pickups are on the Affinity. So if you're a type of player that likes more of a thicker sound, not necessarily a humbucker, but thicker than a typical single coil, you'll probably like the ceramic pickups better on the Affinity than you will the Alnico pickups on the Classic Vibe. They're, again, classic designed with the classic models in mind, so it's more of that twangier, lower output, cleaner, for lack of a better term, sound. The other difference, noticeable difference on the guitars are that on this guitar, which is the Affinity, you can see here it's got a 2 saddle bridge, or a 2-point bridge. 6 saddles, but 2 points, right? 2 screws. Which supposedly is better for stability with the tremolo bar. Now, I'm not a tremolo user, so I can't tell you if it is or not. This, again, tradition, in concert with the tradition of the guitar, has your typical six screw, six saddle Strat bridge. So that is a difference. Some prefer the 6 to the 2, others vice versa. Pick guard on the Affinity is a 3-ply pick guard, white, black, white. On here, you have your traditional, because in the 50s they only made single-ply pickups, single-ply pick guard, which is white on the on this 50s model classic vibe. And the tuners, that's the other difference. So on here, the Affinity, you can see they are sealed, basic sealed tuners. However, they do have split shafts for stringing, more vintage split shaft style tuners on here. On the classic vibe, it comes with these Clouson-like tuners on the back, the really vintage square tuners, and also obviously on the heads of the tuners you have the split shafts as well. This has a single string tree. It's a more of a vintage string tree, as you can see on the headstock. That also has a single string tree, but it's your typical cheapo, stock string tree that comes with the guitars. Now, the other major difference is, from a styling standpoint, some people like the smaller pre-CBS Fender headstock, which this classic vibe clearly has. It says Squier by Fender Stratocaster small headstock. This is more of a late 60s, 70s post-CBS style headstock, and it's your 70s big headstock, right? Larger headstock. And it does have the proper Stratocaster logo on it. Squier by Fender as well in gold. So those of you that like the big headstocks, the children of the 60s and 70s, you may prefer this. The older guys that like the classic style guitars, vintage, may like the smaller headstock. Again, personal choice, right? So those are the differences on the guitar cosmetically. Now, the main differences in summary, and probably making up for the price difference, is that this is got gloss on the neck and the fretboard, right? Which increases costs, manufacturing costs of the guitar. It has Alnico, Fender-designed Alnico pickups in it, which are clearly better pickups than come in the Affinity. However, the sounds are a personal thing. If you like the thicker sound of the ceramics, you may like the ceramic pickups better than these pickups, although they might be better pickups. The nut is bone on this guitar. The nut is not. It's plastic on that guitar. And the wood material. This is Nyoto. That's poplar. Poplar is typically found on budget, inexpensive guitars. Nyoto may be similar to alder, maybe on the higher end. I don't know. But again, does that make up for almost $200 worth of a difference? It's your choice. It's up to you. Again, I think both of these guitars are excellent choices. If for different reasons, as I stated before. But I'll plug them in. I'll let you hear what the pickups sound like. This way you can hear the difference between the two. And again, it's not going to sound that dramatic coming from this little setup that I have here. But let's go. We'll start off with the Affinity. Play some chords clean, just basic chords clean. This is the neck pickup. I'm going to turn the volume up just a bit. Here we go, neck pickup. And now the neck and the middle pickup. Just the middle pickup on the guitar. Now middle and bridge. finally just the bridge pickup. And I'll just play some individual notes to hear what the various settings sound like. Here is the neck pickup. Neck and middle. Just the middle pickup. Middle and bridge. And finally just the bridge pickup. And I'll throw some distortion on now. And I'll let you hear what it sounds like with distortion. And I'll just go through the various settings. I'm not going to do it as much. Play some notes. Okay, now we'll go to the classic vibe. Got to get a studio hand here. It's a lot of work for an old guy. Okay, we'll start off with similar run through, right? Just basic chords, neck position. Neck and middle. Just the middle. Middle and bridge. Finally, just the bridge position. Play some individual notes. Neck position. Neck and middle. Just the middle. Middle and bridge. And just the bridge. And now I will come back with a little distortion on here. Okay. Watch that up. Let's play it in the right way now. play some individual notes. Out of tune like son of a gun right now. Brand new strings, brand new guitar, so I apologize. But just wanted to give you somewhat of a feel between the difference in sound of this guitar versus the Affinity. Now again, with this low budget studio that I've got here and low budget sound system, you're not going to appreciate really how it sounds. But on YouTube there are a ton of different demonstrations of both of these guitars that are much more in depth than what I just did, with better sound systems so you can clearly hear. But if you were here with me and hearing what these old ears hear, this guitar clearly has lower output pickups. Because they are Alnicos, they are on the cleaner side and vintage sounding, right? These pickups on here, because the guitar is designed to be with that big headstock, a 70s style Strat, has ceramic pickups that are higher output, that have almost more of a humbucker sound, a thicker sound to them, and handle distortion better than this guitar does. So it really depends upon what your needs are, what your personal tastes are. Both of these guitars are excellent values. Both of them are great guitars, made well, excellent out of the box. Both had no issues at all with setup when I got them, no issues at all with sharp fret ends, string height, intonation, everything was good out of the box. So I really don't have any issues with either one being noticeably lower quality in terms of the way it was manufactured than the other. Materials are different, as I said before, right? You're getting lower end pickups on here. You're getting probably a tad bit of lower end tuners, although these tuners hold tune fine. You're getting a non-glossed neck, right? Which might be a plus for a lot of people. What else? The material is different, right? This is poplar versus Nyoto, and guys, that's really it. I mean, the frets, right, too. Some prefer medium jumbo frets, which you're going to find on here. These are more vintage frets, narrow, tall frets. So again, it's really a personal taste thing. Both guitars are excellent. It's your choice. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully it was helpful. If you find these reviews useful to yourself and would like to see more, please subscribe. Any questions on either guitar, put them below in the comments. And as always, guys, until the next time, be well and stay safe. Take care.